Liam Eichenberg right now is being injured. He's injured, so he's going to be held out of today's work. He struggled yesterday. Akeem Hicks can be a load. And that's, welcome to the NFL, young man. And remember, one of the things that Alan Poupart told us yesterday in the interview, and you could go back and listen to the Sports Grill Miami Dolphins Insiders report. He reminded us that Eichenberg was on the left side at Notre Dame. So while they wanted to put him at right tackle, it was an adjustment for him. And I've heard this over the years from many linemen. It's a challenge when you're habitually on one side and you're used to doing everything left, 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 left. And then when they switch you to the right, everything that you did now has to be from the right side. And so you now have to retrain your brain and your instincts and everything else to do it from the right side because it's completely opposite of what you were normally used to doing. So there's an adjustment period that goes with that. That's why I told you guys yesterday that sometimes guys start on one position on the line doesn't mean they end up there. It's just maybe a bridge to get to there. Because what you're doing is, okay, it's tough enough to come to the NFL. It's tough enough to succeed in the NFL. All right, so now let's put you in a position that's completely, out in right field that you've never had to deal with. You know what I'm saying? And so now you allow him to stay on the left side, at least at the guard spot, build up the confidence. Not that he picked up some confidence yesterday, but you know what I mean? Over time with experience, you build up the confidence, and then you can start to move him over to the right side and work him out there. And you probably will do it even next year where you can start to really train him after he's had a full season on the left side. Who knows? Maybe he has to go to the right if Jesse Davis has some kind of an injury, but the poor kid suffered some kind of a nick yesterday, and Solomon Kinley now had to step in, which, okay, now it sucks that Eichenberg had a little bit of a setback, right? But it's actually good because Solomon Kinley got knocked down, right? A tad. And so now he's there, steps up again, and now he's kind of hungry to, hey, I want to keep this job. So this is his opportunity also now to kind of say, no, I need to take over. And in a way, you really want this to happen. As much as I want Eichenberg to play, Solomon Kinley's better suited for playing guard. He is a road grader. He is a guy that can move people, right? It's just a technique thing that he's got to overcome at this level. At this level, you've got to be so good with your technique. And inside, you have to be so good with your hands because these defensive tackles, you're playing in a phone booth. These guys are in your face right away, and they're so good with hands and leverage. And that's something that young linemen have to learn how to handle from the D linemen. And then the stunts and twists and all that other stuff that comes with it inside that kind of F's with your mind a little bit. So there's a lot of adjustment here. But again, it's not a matter of overreacting after, the first practice. Eichenberg is a rookie. We have to understand that. So let's allow him to make his mistakes. Let's see if he can grow from some of these mistakes and start to help the team out. There's a part of me that I was thinking about this, and look, I like Jesse Davis a lot. Okay. I think he's a solid sixth lineman. I think he's the guy you use to kind of fill in. I think he's all right as a starter. You know what I mean? I don't think he's a good starter or a great starter. I don't look at him that way. At least maybe he'll turn into that this year as he's developed in his career. Maybe that happens, and he's an absolutely total late bloomer. You want him on your team because he's super versatile and he can help you out. Okay. Having said all that, I was just thinking about this. Eichenberg played on the left side, right? Austin Jackson's a hell of an athlete. And I know that the left tackle gets paid more money than the right tackle, but you're playing with Tua. So Tua's the lefty. So really the right tackle is more important than the left tackle. And if Austin Jackson, who is considered a pretty damn good athlete, right? I was thinking about this. Maybe Austin Jackson, who's now been in the league, maybe you move him to the right side. And and you could sit there with his agent and him and say, "Hey, look, I know what you guys are thinking, left tackle, right tackle, but we got Tua. So really, you're the left tackle now, but it's on the right side because you're really protecting. It's really more important because you're protecting the blind side of the quarterback." So just a little experiment. I was thinking in my mind, I'm going, so you move Austin Jackson to right tackle, and then you can put Eichenberg at left tackle where he's actually used to it habitually and all of that. And then there's no learning curve on the technique side, right? Because he's already used to it. So you play Eichenberg at left and you play Austin Jackson at right. And because you have a left-handed quarterback, you know the whole pay thing and all that, you talk to him and say, "Hey, man, Austin, you kick ass. We're going to take care of you just like if you were the left tackle because technically you are the most important tackle right now on the team because you're protecting Tua's blind side. And you're actually putting somebody more experienced, only a year, over Eichenberg, right? Or over Jesse Davis." I was just thinking, listen, I'm just spitballing. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not the offensive line coach. I'm not the head coach. I'm just a big mouth, a talk show host. That's all I do. So I can't say, but I was just, I was thinking about that. That's something that they could do because in a perfect world, you think, well, Austin Jackson moves to the right side. He's got a lot of athleticism to him, right? You could put Eichenberg at left tackle. If Solomon Kinley can, find his way back, and he's a road grader and he's a tough dude. I like Solomon Kinley. I understand that technique-wise he's got a little bit of ways to go, but that's normal for guys. You know what I mean? But it might end up actually falling into place a little better when it's all said and done. I don't know how they'll handle this. That's the beauty of all of this. They've got a lot of guys and they've got to sift through it and figure it all out, but it's not done overnight.